What is going on, guys? Welcome to your third Java game development tutorial, and in this tutorial we're going to be building a window and a screen to put all our images and graphics on. Now this is usually the first thing you do when building a game in Java, and there are three pretty much types of different games you can build. You can build a Windows screen that appears like a windowed application on Windows, or you can make something called an applet that runs pretty much on a website or from a web server, and you can also build a full screen game. And full screen games are, once you know how to do these, you know how to do everything else. So I'm going to be teaching you how to build full screen games. So what we're going to be doing is pretty much going into the graphics card and taking over this whole entire screen, so much so that you can't even see this bottom toolbar at the bottom. And this is how pretty much all games like World of Warcraft, Modern Warfare, all your first-person shooters, pretty much every cool computer game does this. So that's why we're doing that. And another thing, whenever I try to run my full screen, it won't appear because my screen recorder is only recording this, and the full screen is going to appear on top of that. So what I did is I had to, whenever I run the full screen, I had to capture it, and this is pretty much what we're going to be building. I can't show this to you because when I run it, it appears on full screen, but this is going to symbolize the full screen. What I have to do is actually run it and then take a picture of it using my print screen on my keyboard and then just show you guys right there. So without further ado, let's learn how to do this. So as you see, I already imported Java AWT and Java Swing JFrame for pretty much our appearance. And the first thing I want to do is put private graphics device, and then I want to put VC, or you can name it whatever you want. And what this graphics device is, it pretty much gives you an interface to your video card. So now with this VC variable, we can access the graphics card or video card. And what your graphics card is, if you don't know, if you're not familiar with building computers, it's like the thing that puts the picture on your screen. So you have your computer screen called your monitor, and this pretty much processes all the stuff to shoot images and stuff on your screen. So if you control this, you pretty much control your monitor or screen on your computer. So that's why we need this. I name mine VC for video card so we won't get mixed up. And now after this, let's go ahead and build our constructor. Since I named my class screen for, obvious reasons, let's go ahead and name public screen. It's not going to take any parameters. And the first thing we're going to want to do is this. Now this is probably going to be the only confusing thing what I'm about to say. In order to use this VC variable, we need to go through something called the graphics environment. And what this graphics environment does is, we're going to call a method that says get local graphics environment, and it's pretty much a collection of all your graphics device objects. And this isn't really important for now, you'll understand this later, but let's go ahead and go graphics environment, hopefully I spelled it right, env, and let's see if I did, and set it equal to, I'm gonna have to type this real slow because I can't mess it up, graphics graphics environment dot get, yeah, there we go, thank God for that, get local graphics environment. And you can see if I scroll that over right there, and make sure you type this. Now I can explain. Graphics environment env, this is pretty much your environment variable, and again, like I said, this is all your graphics device objects, not just your screen. So now that we have that, we can use that env object to, well, we just need that env object. That's all I'm going to tell you for now so you don't get confused. Next, we can set this VC object to something. Set it equal to env, or else your environment object, get default screen device. Now what I just did is pretty much this. When we get our environment and then we use it to get access to the get default screen device, we now have access to our computer screen. So now we can take over this whole entire screen and make full screen games. We can, we can do whatever we want with the entire screen. So instead of just the window, we now have access to the entire graphics card and entire monitor on our computer. How cool is that? So now that we have access to it, let's go ahead and write a method to actually change our view to full screen. So let's go ahead and see if I have time for this. Public void set full screen. You can actually name your method whatever you want. I'm going to name mine set full screen, and it's going to take two parameters: display mode, and I'm going to name this something like DM. And what the display mode is it takes four parameters: two for your resolution, which is x by y, your bit depth, which pretty much means how many colors you can store, and it's a little more than that, but it's pretty much that, and your refresh rate. And your refresh rate is how many times your monitor refreshes itself. Although this looks like one solid image, it's actually your monitor is shooting new pixels about 75 times every second. So yeah, well, that's that. So this is what your display mode is, pretty much your monitor settings. And now, other than this, it's going to take the parameter jFrame and just name that variable window or something like that. And now we can do cool stuff to that window. What we're going to be actually doing is building a window and converting this little window to full screen. So, first we want to do a couple stuff to the window. We want to do window.set undecorated, and we want to set this equal to true. We do not want this window decorated at all. And what decorated means is title bars at the top and scroll bars on the side. We don't want any of those, so we want to set undecorated to true, which pretty much gets rid of everything besides just the image inside. The next thing we want to do is make sure that they can't resize it. So window set resizable right there, and we want to set this equal to false. And this means when we make it full screen, it's going to be full screen. You're not going to be able to mess with our size any. And let me check my time right there. And now after this, what we can do is go ahead and actually take the parameter, take that window, and convert it to full screen. And here's what we do. Now that we have access to our video card or graphics card, and it has control over the whole window, go ahead and type VC, and we can call methods on it. One of the methods is we want to take that graphics card and set full screen window. Now this is a built-in method, and whatever we put in as parameters is going to convert that to full screen. So let's take that window right there, and what this is doing is this. It's going to take that window that we just built, and no matter what size it is, it's going to convert it to a full screen window to take over your whole monitor. No matter what the size of your monitor is, it's going to set it to full screen. And the next thing we want to have to do after this is build one other little method if I have time. And actually I don't think I'm gonna, so I'm gonna have to tell you guys in the next tutorial. But in the next tutorial I'm gonna show you guys how pretty much you can check if, well, you'll see in the next tutorial what I'm gonna do. It's a little lengthy to explain right now, but don't forget to check it out. We are well on our way to setting our window, and once we have this kind of housekeeping stuff done, we can begin getting into the good stuff. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget, I'll see you next tutorial. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you then.